What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel Connor on Chain. In this video, I want to cover the top 5 culture coins, in my personal opinion, for the rest of this cycle that I think are going to still pull incredible gains going forward. So let's dive in. So number one on my list is going to be Mcoin. So I've covered Mog now on my channel for over a year. This has been the highest conviction bet of mine personally, all the way back since 2023. And, it's still for good reason. And I'm going to show you exactly why I'm still just as bullish on it as I am here, as I was, down here, right? So let's cover it. Mcoin. I think one of the biggest things with Mcoin is the community. Of course, number one, the community is just something else. They have been bull posting consistently not almost, but every single day, all the way back since 2023, regardless of price action. They do not care. They consistently post all the time. Number two is having these emojis tied to the coin itself. It's very original. They were one of the first coins to ever do that and showcase that, you can kind of tie a set of emojis to a coin. We're actually seeing that with like Retiro now, how they use the clown emoji and the finger. A lot of other coins, they kind of adopt the same idea. That is one of the biggest things as well, because especially when people outside of crypto, they kind of post whether pictures or videos of them in pit vipers or random stuff. They like bull post Mog. You're gonna get raided by Mog people, and you're gonna see those emojis everywhere. We're already seeing it on Twitch streams. When people are just streaming, a lot of even the FaZe clan, when they stream, when something happens and someone gets mogged. Seeing those emojis now is actually kind of normal. That it's getting ingrained into people's heads that, this coin is, it's something. It's not just some random coin, right? The emojis is number 2. Number 3 are the actual pit vipers that are on this cat. The pit vipers are one of the most prominent identifiers of a meme coin in the entire space. First off, it's like you even got some of the most prominent NFT collections right now. These are Project Aeons, which are attached to SPX. They have a literal Viper trait in their collection, right? You even have Bitcoin Puppets. They have Pit Vipers as one of their higher floor traits, and that's been pretty constant across a lot of chains. I'm pretty sure even Retiro, they have certain traits where they have, big sunglasses, like almost Pit Viper like glasses as an actual trait. It's been very prominent of, the entire crypto space. The Pit Vipers, you can also identify with Pit Vipers in real life just by buying a pair. Hence myself, I actually own 2 pairs. And then also being able to identify with Mog as a PFP. This is why I have Mog glasses on my PFP. I've had Mog goggles, or Moggles, like they call them, on my PFP for over a year. My Retiro is somewhat new in the last few months, but before that I had my own face out on Twitter, and I had, the Mog glasses on my PFP. Anyone can literally identify as Mog, no matter what community, no matter what NFT they hold, just by putting those glasses on to their PFP. And in a lot of the Mog community, they already have this. They already have their, these glasses on their PFP. A lot of my lady people, Remilios, Retiro, a bunch of random projects, right? But you just scroll through, you're going to see a lot of people with these Pit Vipers. And what that means is if you see people with Pit Vipers on their PFP, is they are either a Mog holder or a Mog bull, It is the most prominent potential coin inside of crypto and outside of crypto. And it literally embodies crypto culture. That is why Mog is number 1 and continues to be number 1 on the channel here. So that is Mog. That is why it is number one on my list. It's already starting to come back and go probably well into a billion, especially if we're getting Bitcoin to go into 68, 69, 70K within the next few days. We're looking very, very bullish, from macro factors to the chart to a lot of different things. And like I said, with that, Mog 100% will probably either pull back, go into a new high, or just rip straight into a new high from here, potentially going right over into a billion. But to me, I think it's still got a lot of juice in the tank currently. So number 2 on the list is going to be Retiro. And the main reason why, I know this is going to be very questionable. A lot of people have questioned Retiro ever since I first called it. Been holding it, talking about it. Retiro as a token, as a project, this community is the number one driver in why this was going to be successful. When it comes to crypto, good attention and bad attention, either side of it is good for a coin. Whether you think it's good or bad, it drives attention to a token. So the thing with this Retiro community is they are next level. They're on another level of just crazy and cult like mentality, if that's a good way to put it. There has not been a more crazy, ridiculous community in crypto that I've ever seen other than like Retiro here. That is the main reason why when I first found it, I was like, I knew this was going to be probably one of the biggest projects on Solana. And then once they dropped Retiro Cousins as an NFT, Retiro, in my opinion, at that point, I knew it was gonna be the Milady Romilio of Solana. That was my main thesis back then, and it's still been the thesis now. Another very bullish factor. Well, actually, right now I'll cover a couple things, but they are one of the most prominent NFTs now on Solana. And anyone saying that they're not, obviously just doesn't even look at NFTs, but they're easily the most prominent collection thus far in this cycle. So like on Solana, without a question. They've been doing very well initially. I talked about this so many times in the Discord at around 4 Solana when the floor was at 4, 3, 4, 5 Sol. I called all this stuff out all the way back down here. And it's going to be a long-term continued hold. That's kind of how I play this game with crypto. But another very bullish factor, too, is they literally just introduced Retiro Casino. And a lot of people, again, another thing, were like, oh my god, a meme coin with utility? Like, dude, that's so bearish. Like, yes, if it introduced any other type of utility, I probably would question it, but when we're dealing with Retiro as a community and a gamble culture in and of itself, kind of embodies just what meme coins are, for them to drop an entire really good casino, in which anyone can, again, jump in and gamble, do whatever you want on the platform. For me, that fits Retiro more than anything else that I would have ever seen coming. That's mainly why I'm still and even more bullish now with the casino out that also has, I think, 60% revenue share to Retiro cousin holders, which is super interesting. So you actually are a part share owner in Retiro Casino. And I covered this, they even just introduced it a few weeks ago. You can actually bet now on, the most random stuff. There's really no limit, there's no cap to what you can bet on. This is their website. I'm going to Retiro Casino here. So you said they just had something with that dude, that guy Dan from the hurricane. If you guys were up to date at all with that hurricane that just passed, there's a big thing where you can actually bet on if Dan was gonna live or not live, or a bunch of random stuff. I'm not saying that's oh my god, it's bullish to bet on someone dying or living, but I'm kind of getting at, it's the fact that it's kind of like You know, it's a casino where you're not going to have any limit to what you can actually bet on. You know, I just think it fits the Retiro community perfectly. You know, and for what I think, you know, the next culture of where crypto is going is this kind of fits everything perfectly for what it is. You know, they got sports bets and, like I said, the prediction market here. That's what I wanted to cover. You know, overall, I think they're just building a brand, just a crazy overall brand, kind of just like a, you know, F the world, you know, type of brand. And, you know, I like that. But outside of that, that's Retiro. Like I said, they can be honestly very racist and, you know, way too over the top for me sometimes. Like, I actually have to block a lot of different Retiro members because, you know, I'm not racist. I don't tweet like that. You know, a lot of that bullshit I personally I don't tolerate with, but, you know, outside of that, you know, it's like I've seen the vision of Retiro all the way from, like, you know, the bottom. You know, that's literally why I still support it and why I still see it going way higher. You know, and I think the community alone is going to continue to take this. You know, a lot of people tell me, you know, well, why is the coin called Retiro? Why is it going to keep going? Why is it going to grow? Because, again, it comes down to community. You know, most people, if you're thinking, you know, a lot more logically about meme coins, you know, you're thinking about exchange listings. You're thinking about, oh, it's not going to get listed, or, you know, I don't even know what different factors like people look for. When it comes down to meme coins, bro, it is community, community, community. That is the only thing that matters. Because if the community continuously shows up over time, that is what's going to drive the long-term growth. That is why that's why I continuously say focus on communities that are, you know, they've gone up and down and they've been consolidating and actually forming those cults, right? Because over time, that's where the growth is going to come from, is the organic growth just from a coin being out, going through, you know, minus 80, 90% dips, and just when zero hype is on it for a long time. That's, you know, that is how these communities form. So that was number 2 on the list. Mog and Retiro are literally my favorite meme coins in the space. They have been for literally like 6 months for Retiro and over a year for Mog, you know. Number 3 is Giga. The reason why I like Giga a lot, very based and strong community as well. Giga has just been a powerhouse of a meme coin, and it's at 500 million. You know, I think for the potential of where this can go, you know, I still think it's somewhat undervalued. You know, yeah, would I ever actually say that after it being up like this? Normally, no. I actually think this has probably got to correct very heavily, like as in come down something like this. Maybe not like that, but I think it's got to have some sort of actual major correction before it has another leg up. But again, I would not be bringing this coin up if I did not see the actual long-term potential with it. The reason why I'm so bullish, again, community is top tier. But this embodies an entire kind of lifestyle. It's not just a meme coin with a picture attached to it. You know, it's not just another dog coin. You know, it's not the next, you know, Doge. It's not Dogecoin sisters, cousins, you know, dog. Like, it's an actual organic community that's been built, and it embodies an entire lifestyle of just being fit and fitness, stuff like that. I think that is why it is so big and why it's probably going to continue over the rest of this bull cycle. You know, again, it is just a lot different than a lot of these meme coins out here. There's more to it than just the meme itself, you know? Number 4. So I'm going to bring Lockin. Lockin, in my opinion, I think is a great coin overall. Same thing. This kind of embodies a literal lifestyle. It's more than just a coin. You know? And that's actually why, again, it has been holding up incredibly well. It's sitting at 72 million. It's still pretty undervalued. You know, but this was a call in our Discord as well, all the way down here. And this is going to be for a long-term hold as well. You know, I actually easily can see this going to multiple hundreds of millions of dollars. in market cap at a minimum at least 2 to 300 million. You know, I don't really like to give out targets like that, but I'd say for an easy, you know, 3 to 5x from current levels, I think it's a given for Lockin. You know, that's going to be a very nice 10, 20, 30x with size in the Discord just for accumulating at the lows. You had a month and a half to just jump in, you know, and just be patient. That's how I play this game with a lot of meme coins. And like I said, I think Lockin is just on its way to becoming a huge coin. Not just a $70 million, but way bigger than it is now. So that's number 4 is Lockin. And same thing, community has been incredibly bullish for months, nonstop. Led by like Vidamo on Twitter. You know, a lot of coins that I've seen have a ton of success are coins that end up having, you know, 1 or 2 people that almost, they're not like the developers, they're not actually part of the team, but they kind of just consistently bull post that one single coin all the time. You know, it's almost like they become the CEO of like a meme coin, you know? And that's what we've seen with Lockin with that guy Vidamo on Twitter. He's been bull posting Lockin literally since like May or June consistently, and he's still going, and he's probably going to continue, you know? So that's number 4 on the list. Number 5 is actually going to be Mumu. The reason why I like Mumu, though, so it's sitting at 138 million. Mumu, I think, is a slower mover, almost like a lagging mover when it comes to a lot of memes. But I think that's actually an advantage to it because when every other meme coin is moved or pumping, usually this kind of sits. It's been sitting. But now most of the attention will probably flow onto it once it starts to move again because everything's already had its major moves or is pulling back. So people are looking to either rotate or, you know, focus their attention on something more bullish at any given time. But Mumu is, in my opinion, you know, the embodiment of a bull run. Mumu the bull. You know, it kind of reminds me of like a Pepe character, but, you know, it resembles the bull run. You know, that's the extent of my thesis for it. It's a literal meme coin like based bull, right? But just same thing. Community is incredibly strong in this coin and has been for months, and I don't see it slowing down. You know, we have an entire wick to fill at some point, so that will get filled at some point. That's going to be huge. But, I mean, what is that going to be? It's a 5x from current levels, which is huge. I guarantee that's going to be a huge thing once that wick gets filled. And what that means, if you guys don't know what that means, is it just means because someone had a huge clip in for Mumu and it kind of pulled this, it just means price is eventually going to rise, bounce, and eventually catch up to where this wick kind of peaked out at. So it's kind of like it's kind of saying that as a joke, but I genuinely think that's probably going to happen for it. You know, but whatever it is, chart looks beautiful, primed to start another run. But outside of that, that is why I wanted to cover these. I think these 5 meme coins, you know, they're not the smallest meme coins by any means, but these definitely have some of the top potential to run into crazy valuations going forward. Outside of that, that's what I wanted to cover. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.